Good afternoon, it's Claire Saunders from What's New in Electronics, and I'm here at IPC APEX with an amazing bunch of women, and we are going to talk about their groundbreaking work in the electronic manufacturing industry. Good afternoon, ladies, how are you?
Good afternoon, I'm
afternoon.
fine.
So what I'd like to do is let you all introduce yourselves and tell us what your place is in the marketplace and what you're doing, and then we can discuss opportunities, changes, and how you see the industry, if that's okay.
Okay, my name is Jayne Carthy. I am the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Absolute EMS, and I've been in the industry for 30 years.
Like me, great stuff.
Yes.
My name is Tracey Latham, and I'm the founder and CEO of Latham Industries. We're an electronics contract manufacturer in Phoenix, and I've been in the industry over 20 years now.
And I'm Carrie Guenther. I have been at RBB in Worcester, Ohio, contract manufacturer, since 2018, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Great stuff, fantastic. Well, thank you all very much for joining us. We had a little conversation earlier on. We've all had different experiences in the industry, have different ways that we've been introduced to it. So it would be great to find out how you guys feel things have changed over the years. Obviously 30, 20 and 7 years, all a good time. So lots of different things. Being a woman, has that made a difference to how you feel you've sort of progressed in the industry, or do you just feel that it's offered new opportunities and challenges to strengthen your position?
I think for myself, speaking for myself, it offered me new opportunities. I was young coming into the industry. I was learning very much about the technology, and I was gifted to have some amazing mentors by my side, male and female. But back at that time, there weren't as many females in the industry. So I was, I would reach out to learn from whoever I could learn from. And as I grew in the industry, I realized that women are good. We are really good. We're exceptional at task management. We're very good at multitasking, and there's a resilience about the women. Maybe it's just our DNA, but the job gets done. And I've learned to lean on women very heavily and mentor women throughout my career.
Which is fantastic.
Yes,
It is,
happy,
yeah.
very happy to be here
Thank
speaking.
you. Yeah,
Thank
good,
you.
good. I think it's a really interesting thing that you said there, because women's minds work differently than a man's mind. So, but they complement one another. So you can find additional opportunities and strengths just because there's a partnership there. So yeah, thank you.
So when I joined the industry, there was a lot of women-owned businesses in our industry, but the women were nowhere to be found.
Right.
So that was being taken advantage, I felt. I worked from other contract manufacturers, and the way that they treated the people, not the respect, and I found the men to be more emotional. I was very surprised about that. And that's so I started my own business. But what I learned is it's how you treat people, and I find women are more compassionate. Not to the point where we're overboard, right? But you have to have it. Not everything's cut and dry. It's not black and white, right? You have to learn that gray, and I think women are better at that, And I think we have a more strategic mind. Sorry, men, but
Sorry, everybody.
sorry, but
The rest of the world.
yeah. Women are known to be able to, like you said, multitask and handle more things. You know, so it's nice to see that this industry is growing with more women in it. I've been very successful because I had a lot of mentors myself, a lot of men, and I think it's the way you present yourself, right? And it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, right? It's how you present yourself and hold yourself that draws people to you. And I think if you do the right things and you have integrity, then it just helps you leap on into this industry.
Okay, fantastic, great stuff. Thank you.
And I think of us, I have the least experience in the industry at 7 years, and I think my experience has been different in a lot of ways than both of you had. I felt very welcomed into the industry, and again, I've had great mentors that have helped teach me and grow in the industry, so it's been a really great experience for me, and I haven't felt excluded from the table, felt welcome to the table. So I really appreciated that welcoming that I've had and been able to get to know others both within my company who've mentored me and from outside organizations that have really come alongside and lifted us up. So I'm looking forward to what the future looks like as we do now mentor other younger women under us and help them grow up in the industry too.
And you mentioned earlier the percentages in your business are quite equal, male and female.
Yeah, I think we're fairly equal in both leadership and in our entire staff is roughly 50-50 male, female.
That's really encouraging, and I'm guessing very different from what I know from my point of view, what I saw when I first came into the industry, because every woman knew one another because there weren't many of us. So it's fabulous to hear that there's women feeling comfortable coming into that, because I guess there's a stigma that it is still very male dominated. So maybe women avoid that, or maybe particularly in Europe, I know when you've got youngsters going into colleges and universities, they're almost guided into another area. They're not pushed into electronics or manufacturing or industrial because it's not a woman thing, and there is still that perception. I don't know how that relates in the US, or if you see a slightly different thing at college, university level.
I think it relates.
Okay.
I believe it relates. And but it's changing. And it's changing rather swiftly. Even looking at the audience in the show, there's a lot of young women here that are in this industry. And it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see.
Yeah.
They're building careers. And we need that. We need that young, innovative person to come in and follow us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, when I came in the industry, a lot of my jobs, I was the only manager for most of my career. Woman manager in the meetings. And that's the thing, I think women doubt themselves sometimes, because one of my scenarios was I sat in a meeting, they're talking about all these things, and I'm like, well, if you do X, it's that simple. And so, but what I did is I backed off, and I was like, well, maybe I'm missing something. And then finally I was like, I'll give it a try. And so I presented it, and they're all like, well, that's a great idea. I'm like, okay, this was simple.
Yeah.
So we complicate things, but it's nice to see the younger generation. It's nice to see more women getting involved. We have tours with the colleges and even the high school students to see what we're doing.
Okay.
So that they know what opportunities are out there for them. And Phoenix is doing a great job of workforce development for our industry, because I don't see the families coming behind that we used to. One of my employees, her mother worked for me in the past, but who's coming up from behind them? So the younger workforce is very, very important to this industry.
Yeah, I do see many young women being interested in both our industry and just in technology more than they used to be. But it still feels like when we host a local manufacturing day and we have students into the facility, it still seems to be the majority of young boys that seem to be interested in manufacturing jobs, but electronics jobs as well. And I know when I was in school, I did feel like I wasn't smart enough to go down the math route. I actually was very good at math, but I didn't feel like I had that encouragement to go down the math and science route that I could have maybe had and maybe learned more. So I went down the communications route, which is great, but it's brought me back here into more technical industry. And I do feel like maybe with different mentorship when I was so young, maybe I could have turned out into a different type of role in this sort of industry. But I don't regret my path, and I'm glad I learned the skills I did. But now we can help mentor the younger women and encourage them in the ways that we may not have been encouraged.
I do have one thing that's exciting. It was about a year and a half ago, and the winning Brazilian robotics team for all of Brazil was sent over here to the United States, and they were on a tour of different type of high technology companies, and they visited our factory. There were 4 young women. They were the winners. They made the coolest robot. They tied the technology together. So the world's changing.
Yeah.
It's just shifting.
Yeah. We had actually in the UK, they had the UK hand soldering competition, and it was won by a woman again. I think it was 2nd or 3rd year she's won it. So yeah, we're making a difference, and it's important. Yeah, and I also have conversations with business owners in the UK who say, we want to find more women, but we're struggling because we're not seeing them being pushed through. But we know that we need that balance within our manufacturing facility. We need to have the other side of the brain on the shop floor, if you like.
It's
Yeah.
an excellent balance.
Yeah.
I agree. And I would say our company is 50-50 split with management all the way through the organization.
That's really encouraging.
It's very encouraging.
Yeah, brilliant, great stuff. And Tracey, I guess your company has.
We have majority of women.
That's fantastic.
It just worked out
That's
that way.
odd.
I didn't want to presume, but I kind of guessed. But for anybody out there watching this, any ladies out there who are thinking about a career in manufacturing, I hope that this is an encouragement for you. That it's a safe space. It's a great opportunity for people to do something different and achieve great things and make a huge difference for the future. So, ladies, any other thoughts, any comments you'd like to share?
I think I'm good.
If you have a younger woman in your company or in your life, encourage them, lift them up, and help them grow in this industry.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
along.
you.
It's great to see
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.